Hi, everyone. I'm Kim Kieber, FCSS Outcome Measures Trainer. Welcome to the 2023 instructional videos for the Volunteer Income Tax Data Collection tools that FCSS is using. This will be the 7th year of using the tools, and it has provided such valuable data for all of your individual communities, as well as for the provincial government to see how one small program supported by FCSS with typically minimal financial investment is having such a huge impact on the lives of Albertans. Back in 2017, we started with 6 communities providing data, and in 2021, we had 48 communities reporting, and I believe we will have even a few more participating from this past year. So thank you so much to everyone who has participated over the years, and for those who plan to participate this year. The purpose of these tools is to capture the impact a small program like the Volunteer Income Tax Program is having on reducing poverty and supporting economic self-sufficiency for Albertans. I just want to show you a couple examples. One example is just to show you what these tools can provide in terms of data for your community in 1 year. So this shows one community. You can see here it shows a total of just over $2,200,000 coming back into the community from a total of 441 returns. So this is the kind of data that you can show for your community from this program and using these tools. I just want to show you one other thing. So this is what it looks like when we compile everybody's data from around the province. So this is from 2021, and it shows that we had 48 communities reporting. We had over 12,414 returns filed, over 1,400 children impacted, number of seniors impacted, number of low-income individuals. And this number here is the amount of money that we were able to demonstrate that as a result of the Volunteer Income Tax Program, that amount of money came back into Alberta's communities. So that is pretty extraordinary to be able to show that kind of impact. Although offering the Volunteer Income Tax Program through FCSS is not mandatory, nor is using any of these data collection tools, we are hoping that you will support the offering of this program in your community, and that if your FCSS program does offer it, that you will use or continue to use these tools. I want to mention that these tools are not intended to replace anything that Canada Revenue Agency is doing. We are just gathering some additional information on the impact we're having. And again, I want to say that these tools are not mandatory. You do not have to use them. If you have your own tools and you really like them, you can absolutely keep using them. But just be aware that the information you gather from your tools won't be aggregated with the other communities who are participating using these tools. So it's not mandatory, but of course, we're hoping that you will use them. So everyone is aware there are some changes to the tools this year, and I've redone some of the videos, so I am hoping you will watch them all. There are a number of videos on how to use the tools and resources we've provided. So that includes video number 2, which is just a short video on the Outcome Measures Trainers 2023 contact information. Video number 3 is about the registration form that we've provided. And this video hasn't been updated because registration forms are essentially the same, with the exception of the shaded gray section at the bottom, which has just been updated to reflect what's being tracked this year. Video number 4 has been updated, and it will show you where to find all the information we're tracking. Video number 5 has also been updated, and this is the one that is critical to watch because it's the one that shows you how to use the Excel data collection tool. Video number 6 highlights how to insert rows, which is also included in video number 5, but people seem to be having some challenges with it. So it's just a 2-minute video to show you how to do that one specific thing. And that video has not been updated. So because the process to insert rows is the exact same, but just be aware that the Excel spreadsheet that you see on that video is an old one. And video number 7 is about how to accurately use the section about not community of residence, whether someone is a senior, living on AISH, living on low income, or if they are a resident. And that has been updated to reflect the co-file situations. So we were having some challenges with co-file. So there is a specific way to enter co-file information now. And again, that's also covered in the video that shows you how to use the whole spreadsheet, but this section people seem to have issues with. So we made another short video specific to that. And then video number 8 shows the volunteer survey that you can use if you choose to, you don't have to, as well as the program summary report to capture any of the volunteer survey data. I will let you know that the videos are numbered to correspond to the number in the title of each of the documents that were sent to you. So hopefully that will help. If you are new to using the tools, you must watch these videos, because if you don't use the tools properly, unfortunately, your data will not be rolled up. And if you're not new to using the tools, again, I would still really encourage you to watch them because they have been updated. There are new things, and some folks who have been using these tools for years are still making some critical mistakes. Also, as an FYI, I want to let you all know that we are collecting data based on the calendar year, not on the tax year. So if you run this program, you already know that some people will come in with 5 years worth of taxes to be filed. So just to clarify, we are not tracking based on tax year, but just on whatever tax returns were filed in the calendar year. So after watching the videos, if you have any questions about how to use the tools, just be sure to contact your outcome measures trainer. And if you don't know their contact information, it is on the resource numbered or video numbered too. So just a bit of background. Back in 2016, there was about 15 to 20 FCSS directors who got together to discuss how FCSS impacts a number of key social issues in our communities, including poverty reduction. And in that meeting, it was acknowledged that with the FCSS outcome measures process and the measures bank as it existed at that time, we knew that we weren't doing a great job at capturing the impact of the great work we're doing in our communities around economic self-sufficiency and poverty reduction. So we started looking for an alternative and a way that we could showcase or highlight the impact of a program, which led us to Greenview FCSS. So they were already tracking a lot of this data, and they graciously shared their tools, and they allowed us to adapt those tools and share them with all of you. And then Clarisholm FCSS and High River FCSS have also provided a great deal of help fine-tuning the tools and helping adapt them over the years. So I just want to send a big thanks out to all of those folks. The intention of the tools is to capture the amount of money coming back into our communities as a direct result of people filing their taxes. So for example, we are gathering things like GST, Alberta Seniors Benefit, or Social Assistance, GIS. But we're not tracking things like Old Age Security or OAS, because with that benefit, someone has to file their taxes to receive it. But once they receive it, they will continue to receive it, even if they don't file their taxes. So we are not tracking that. We're also only tracking information that is readily available at the time the tax return is filed. So there are a number of benefits, both federal and provincial, that people may get as a result of filing their taxes. But in order to know how much money they actually would receive, it would require us following up with them down the road. Now, this would be incredibly time-consuming and probably impossible considering FOIP. So we are not doing that. We're just tracking the information we have readily at hand when we file the tax return. So please be sure to use the current tools that have been sent to you recently. Ensure that the Excel document you're using says 2023 on it. Unfortunately, if you use the spreadsheet from 2022 or any previous years, again, your data won't be rolled up with everybody else's. So some specifics for 2023. Like last year, we are no longer specifically tracking the working income tax benefit or the Canadian worker benefit. And this is because that amount actually shows up in the refund owing, which we are tracking. So by tracking it separately, we're ensuring we aren't double counting that amount. However, in 2023, we will once again specifically be tracking the climate action rebate, because Canada Revenue Agency has changed things, and that amount is no longer showing up under the refund owing section as it had in the past. So we are tracking it separately so we can capture that information. We've also changed the name of one of the columns that used to be the Alberta Seniors Benefit, and we changed that to Social Assistance Payments, because that is what it's actually called on both the tax slip and the tax summary page. It actually tracks more than Alberta Seniors Benefit, but it still tracks things that people must complete their taxes for. Also, after some discussion, we have decided to track the taxes owing amount differently this year. So the rationale behind this change is that the taxes owing doesn't really have anything to do with the benefit amount someone is receiving. And we felt that subtracting it from the benefit amount was potentially inaccurately skewing our results. So it now has its own column, and that column is not included in the formula for the total for that row. This way we still track it, but it will no longer skew the results. And there'll be more detail in one of the videos about that. The registration forms are pretty much the same as last year, but we've added the climate action incentive in the shaded gray section at the bottom where you enter all the data that you're going to track. And I will note that this video is not updated, as the registration form is basically the same. Just note that the bottom shaded gray portion for your 2023 tools looks a little bit different. The Excel document is set up the same for the most part, but again, now there's a separate column for taxes owing. A column has been added for the climate action incentive, and the Alberta Seniors Benefits column has been renamed. Some people are still struggling to use the Excel document accurately, which I totally understand because it's kind of complex and there's a lot, especially for those of you who do a lot of tax returns. So I just encourage you to please, please, please watch the video on how to use the spreadsheet. It will make things much easier and ensure that your data is able to be aggregated with the rest of the provincial data. So when it comes to the Excel document, basically don't change it. If you're going to insert rows, watch the videos that are specific to that, so that all the necessary formulas show up. And please ensure you do not change any of the formulas. And people are still making errors in the senior aged low income residents section. So there's a video that specifically goes over that section, so please watch it. And again, due to the co-file situation and the challenges that brought with adding data to the spreadsheet around that, there are now specific instructions on how to deal with that. I will say with the Excel spreadsheet, we are tracking volunteer hours. Please be aware that is for your use. We are actually not aggregating volunteer hours from this form, but you will need to report the number of volunteers and number of volunteers on your FCSS annual report. And just a reminder that whether you document the information on this volunteer information on this document, you must collect number of volunteers and number of volunteer hours for all of your FCSS programs, because you do need to report that on your annual reports. We still have included the volunteer survey and the program summary report, should you want to survey your volunteers. But I want you to be aware that with the recent release of the FCSS accountability framework in December, there is now a new FCSS outcomes model, and new measures will be released at some point in the future. So as of today, which is January 15th, we are unsure whether any of the measures on this particular survey will be reportable to the province on your 2023 annual report. Regardless, it is still a great idea to measure the impact of volunteering for your own purposes, so we have included it for you. So if you're using these tools and you want your data aggregated with everyone around the province, it is critical that you use the tools accurately. If you want to change the tools, the videos will show you the only places you can do that and exactly how. So for the, I don't know how many times I've said it already, but please, please, please watch the videos. Again, it will make things so much easier for you and for those of us who have to aggregate the information. And once again, once you've watched the videos, if you have any questions, please reach out to your FCSS Outcome Measures trainer. So thanks, everybody, and on to the next video.